Well, hello guys, this is Kim here, and we're back with Relationship Matters. It is Sunday with episode 5, and I'm here with my husband.
Odingo.
Oh, baby, you're in for it. Yeah, that's a serious introduction.
Yeah.
Well, today we want to talk about how do you disagree? Like, can you disagree and maintain a level of respect? Can you disagree and still keep your head up? You know, can you disagree respectfully in a relationship? So yeah, this one is big people problems. Yeah. So maybe you want to start this off?
Well, yeah. Sure. When two people are together, two different worlds come together. I was brought up the way I was brought up. I have my principles and my values. And you were brought up the way you were brought up, and you have your principles and your values. And obviously, from time to time, we are going to come to situations where you have one take on it and I have another. Mm-hmm. So how do we disagree with each other without having to consider pulling swords, without considering blood, or without saying, well, tonight, you're sleeping on the sofa. Mm-hmm. Or for the rest of the week, the whole atmosphere in the relationship is you're getting more sign language than I.
Or you're getting notes.
Are you getting notes? Yeah, exactly.
Notes, post-it notes.
Yeah. So, as my wife said, as you say, this is big people's problems. Because a lot of couples don't know how to disagree with one another without thinking that the other person wants blood. Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. So we could have a difference of opinion, but that don't mean that I hate you. Mm-hmm. That don't mean that this change anything for us. Mm-hmm. So I think for me, that's how I look at it. People can disagree, but it doesn't mean that because we disagree with each other on one subject or another, that does not mean that I hate the person that I disagree with. Mm-hmm. I just don't share their opinion nor their values on that particular subject or on a few different subjects. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And I think for me, from my point, like I said, this is big people business.
Yeah.
So I'm not a child anymore. I'm a grown woman. So for me, if I'm having a disagreement with you, or let's say we're having an argument with you, I think at the end of the day, we need to start with, there must be a level of maturity on both parties. Yeah? Right. A level of maturity, and to still maintain a level of respect for both parties. 100%. So I think for me, this is where we lose the whole plot.
Right.
You understand? Because I go into it and then I have forgotten, and I know this is, I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. Sometimes we get very, hot-headed, and we come in ready to fight. Yeah. You understand? Like, listen, it's my way. This is the situation, blah, 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 whatever we're arguing about, and it's my way or the highway. You understand? And I think at the end of the day, when I'm talking about a level of maturity, you have to understand that there are two people in a relationship, and we are two very different people in a relationship. Oh, yeah. I may be hot. You could be cold.
Cool.
You understand?
Cool,
right.
Not cold. Cool.
Okay, cool. You understand?
Yeah.
Right. So you may have one introvert, one extrovert. That's life. Yeah. You understand? I may be the outgoing person and you're just a quiet person. We have different types of people in a relationship.
We have a different rhythm.
You understand? I may see things differently. You may see different things differently. That's what makes the relationship works. Because I think how boring it is for you to have the same mind, the same views. It's like you need someone who's a little bit different from you. There must be one who is fire and one who is calm. You understand? With that said, knowing that we're gonna have different opinions on different things, you understand, there still must be a level of maturity in approaching a subject. There still must be a level of respect, because at the end of the day, after the discussion is finished, you're still my spouse.
Oh yeah.
You're still my husband, you're still my wife. You understand? Yeah, I don't believe in this thing whereby, listen, we're so upset that tonight I'm going to be hugging a pillow, or I'm going to say to you, you know what? You sleep on the couch. You understand? Yeah. So for me, it depends, because at the end of the day, there are some arguments which actually warrant you sleeping on the sofa.
Yeah, but can I just
you know?
Can I just quickly slide in there?
Yeah.
We are talking about disagreeing, not arguing.
Disagreeing.
Because when we look at disagreeing, we are looking at having our own individual opinions. When we reach onto an argument, or reach to argument, the disagreement have now escalated and has gone
into the argument.
So that's what I'm saying. How do you not get into an argument, but you disagree? How do you?
I think you still have to maintain the same thing. You still have to maintain the level of maturity and respect.
Oh yeah.
You understand? You have to know who you're with. Listen, this is my spouse. You have to remember at all times who you're speaking to.
Oh, yeah.
And I think sometimes people don't remember.
Respect.
You understand?
Oh, yeah.
Because they lose themselves for a moment. You know, it's like you, at one point you think you're just speaking to anybody. It's like when we're speaking to our kids and we tell them, we speak to them, we expect them to speak to us right. And sometimes we may remind them, like, listen, I'm not one of your friends. I'm not one of your pick-me. You know, I'm not one of your little friends. You speak to me with respect.
Oh, yes.
You address me with respect. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
And I think it's the same thing when we're having a disagreement with the spouse or the other half or the girlfriend or the boyfriend. Yeah. You know, that level of maturity. Because if you still have that little girl mindset or that little boy mindset, because trust me, there's a lot of grown men who still have that little boy mindset. Oh, yeah. They're not grown. They want you to be grown. But they don't know what it is to be grown.
Fair enough.
You understand? Right. We can sit at the table and you can tell me, baby, listen, we had a plan. Let's just anything for an example, because I think we need to use an example for this to make sense. You know, let's say, for instance, you said to me, we are not going to use, you know, the funds that was set aside most probably for our savings to repair, you know, the microwave or the stove or something like that.
To redecorate it.
Yeah, or
to buy me a new vehicle.
Or to buy you a new vehicle.
Nice.
Right, perfect. And I'm saying that's not what the saving is for.
I'm saying, but it was our money. It was ours.
You understand?
It was ours. We could use it, and then we can save it again.
Yeah. But you see, the problem is, I'm saying, but then you've gone off the mission. Because if we say we're going to be doing something and now you want to then redefine what the saving is for, because for me, saving is not, you know, if you want to save for your vehicle, save for your vehicle. But maybe this was a family, you know, a savings or emergency fund that you've gone and dipped in, and now we're having a disagreement about it. You understand? But I still think, even with things like that, because sometimes finances can really give you a headache, you know, I think even with something like that, you could still maintain a level of maturity and a level of respect. You understand? I think the problem comes in when you can feel that you can just speak to your spouse anyhow you want and start using, you know, F notes. You understand? And all these different unreasonable, you know, phrases with your partner, slamming doors in a disagreement because the person didn't agree with what you said. You understand? Or they didn't see your point of view. Because I'm entitled to have my opinion, and you need to respect that. You know? And even if we didn't come to agree, you understand? And we need to revisit this discussion another time, because sometimes some people need to pause and stuff, and I think that's a lot of things we don't do. We want to deal with the matter today for today. To me, if it's getting too heated, my recommendation is, can we come back to this? Can we come back to this? Because at the moment, we need to blow some steam. You understand? This is really like, this is not what I expected.
Yeah.
And there's no need for me and you to be disrespectful.
Oh, yeah.
You understand? So why don't we come to this when we are both in a calmer, like when we are calmer, mentally, from a different point of view. Let's come back to this. And I think that's okay sometimes.
Yeah, fair enough.
That doesn't mean I'm totally disregarding what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand? So what do you think?
Well, how I look at it, I think I heard this somewhere before. There is a valley of wisdom in an alternative opinion. There is a valley of wisdom in an alternative opinion.
That's amazing.
Right. Now, I might not agree with you. We don't agree on something. But the fact that you have brought an alternative opinion, you've brought a different perspective, you've given me a different angle. I don't need to become so emotionally involved and wrapped up and get so angry with you and not see or not hear what you've said. I could go away and realize that, upon pondering your input, I've just expanded my own wisdom. So I think that open discussion should really and truly bring this kind of bring flavor to every relationship.
Okay.
That's where I'm coming from. I think alternative opinions between spouses, between partners, should definitely bring a different flavor, a different kind of wisdom and energy to relationships. Why? Because I don't know everything. No one knows everything. And even if you don't agree, you could at least, point of advice, you could at least take into consideration what the other person is saying. And the reason why you would do that is because this person is your significant other, be it your husband, your wife, be it your boyfriend, your girlfriend, almost husband, almost wife. If this other person sees this as being important enough for them to hold that opinion of something, it's worth you giving it some consideration. I'm not saying to accept it as it is, but it is worth you giving it in my opinion, a fair trial by consideration.
By consideration.
Yeah. Consider it. Look at it. Weigh it. Test it. And you do that not because you are weak, or because you are soft, or because you are right.
Yeah.
You do that because that's what love do. Love give you the kind of goggles or glasses to change your vision of the world. And when your significant other is sharing with you who they are, even if you disagree, you don't need to walk away and say, no. I wonder who this hypocrite, this Lucifer is.
Yeah.
You don't have to try to shoot them down because you don't agree on a subject or on some subjects.
And I think some people are just naturally so hot-headed, and some people are just, they have that quick blood. You tell them one thing, it's like, there are some people who have this, what can I say? They have this obsession with being in control. It's always my way, my way. And I think especially for people who are not yet married, this is so important, because at the end of the day, you are now revealing to your other person who you really are, because you need to take those little notes down, because this will tell you who you're getting involved with. If me and you cannot sit down and have a reasonable argument, a reasonable discussion, a reasonable disagreement about something, without you losing yourself,
without things getting nasty,
without you slamming doors, without you throwing a glass of water in my face, without you trying to, these are little telltale signs that you have a serious little problem. Because at the end of the day, it will develop into something else. Because sometimes you forget, or you tell yourself, you know what, she's just a hothead. She's just
a bit hot-headed.
And some people say,
she's very spirited.
Yeah, and me like that about her, because me like how she hot, so she's
fiery.
She's fiery. Yeah, she full of, and women as well. They like that because the man is like, he's aggressive. Yeah. Oh God, he's on fire. Oh, I love it when he gets out his aggressive side.
Right.
But is that really what you want? because that's okay for now. Like, in the beginning, those things are okay, but further down the road, when you're having proper disagreements, because you will have lots of disagreements. Remember, you can't agree on everything.
No, you can't.
You understand? And how are you going to then take this person and
build a life
with somebody when you know they have those little different traits? You have to be careful.
Toxic.
Maturity, because exactly these are the beginning of toxic relationships.
Toxic traits, yeah.
You understand?
Toxic traits, yeah.
Because you believe, oh well, yeah, he gets a little bit rough, when we talk.
Yeah, but it's okay.
He slammed the door, and it's okay. We don't really have to agree on everything.
Yeah.
But these are telltale signs. These are telltale signs.
I
mean, I was raised...
But we disagree on things.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time we disagree
because
on things.
we're very both what's the word I'm looking
Opinionated.
for? Right, exactly. So it's like, I like to voice my opinion, and I think I'm very strong-minded, and so are you. Yeah. I don't take any nonsense, and you don't take any nonsense. Yep. But that doesn't mean we have to be disrespectful of each other. Yeah. You understand? I will say to you, baby, listen, I don't agree with this. This is my view on the matter. And I like the fact that I can still argue with you and say, baby. Yeah, because I think sometimes people get upset with the spouse and they start calling you by the first name. You know that shit has gone down the other side.
They start like, listen, hey.
You have an argument, and then I say Odingo.
They start addressing you by
the moment I call you your name.
Yeah. Oi, hey, you.
It's gone wrong. It's gone wrong.
Disrespect.
So the fact that I can still come to you and say, baby, listen, you know what you're trying to pull here? I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, this is my view on this matter. This is my opinion on this matter. This is how I feel about this matter. And that's it. And then at the end of the day, it's giving consideration.
Yeah.
Sleep on things. Take a moment to say, you know what, let's revisit this conversation. You don't always have to solve something today for today. And I think that's the problem. We are allowed to come back to situations. And I think this is where I want to leave this, with anyone who most probably, who's going through similar situations where you have where you believe you may have a difficult spouse or hot-headed spouse, a fiery or what's the word? Spirited spouse. They're ready for action at any time.
Yes.
Learn different approaches as to how to get. If this is who your partner is,
you are the one.
Or if you are the one, exactly. Take a step back. Talk about something. If you do not agree, that's okay. Remember, you are two individuals. And that's a blessing, because at the end of the day, you bring something to the table. You're uniquely different, and that's amazing. And if you do not agree, it's okay. Come back to it. Take a day, take a few minutes, come back to it. And then you can say, right, we'll talk about this tomorrow. Let's cool our heads down. You understand? And most probably talk about it somewhere else in a different environment, whether it's going on a date, having a drink outside, removing yourself from the house,
changing the atmosphere.
You understand, and so
definitely.
forth, and trying to speak about things differently. But the point is, I think myself and my husband maintain that you can disagree respectfully without disrespect. Remember, maturity and respect is everything, because this is the person that you've chosen to be your life partner. So have some respect. So I hope you've been blessed by this. Happy Sunday to everyone once again. And thank you so much for all your lovely messages and all your lovely feedback. We take everything on board, and we wish you the best. See you next Sunday.
And have a very beautiful week. Thank you ever so much.
And remember to be productive. Thank you.